You can't keep getting away with this!
Yes, I know, before any of you mention it, my trim is horrific. I need a haircut. My beard's a disgrace. I'm working on it. I will get it sorted. Just give me time. But yeah, if you get me to, like, I don't know, 1,000 subscribers, right? Because we're quite a way off that, right? So if you get me to 1,000 subscribers somehow, yeah, I will actually shave all my hair off and I'll go bald. Like, I'll go like Pep bald, like Guardiola bald, right? And so if you've never felt like I've never given you like enough of an incentive to subscribe, right, and you watch my videos but you haven't subscribed, right, that is your incentive. Get me to 1k subs and I will shave my hair off, and that is a promise. You can hold me to that. So yeah, just remember, 1k subs and I'll go bald. But yeah, let's get into today's video, right? Well, we talk about Real Madrid in the Champions League, man, because they're actually inevitable. Like, they need to be stopped. Like, it's actually a joke at this point. They have made 17. They have been to 17 Champions League finals, right? And have only lost 3. 14 Champions League trophies, man. Like, that's insane. Like, how do you do that? And they've made 6 of the last 11 finals. Like, it's not just like back in the day when football might not have been as good, they were winning lots of these trophies. Like, they're still doing it to this day. Like, it's actually insane. 6 of the last 11 finals is crazy. Like, they're literally the most inevitable team I've ever seen. Like, people will say that at the moment City, we're inevitable in the league and we'll always win the league, right? We're not as nearly as inevitable as Real Madrid in the Champions League, man. Like let's skip over the game against Bayern real quickly, and let's take a trip back to 2022, right, where they looked down and out against PSG, right? They look down and out. Bam, Benzema bags a hat trick, and it is and they go through to the quarterfinals, and then, you know, Benzema gets another hat trick at Stamford Bridge, and they win 3-1 against Chelsea, and they take it back to the Bernabeu, and you think, okay, that's fine, you know, it's easily done. Chelsea, you know, Chelsea go 3-0 up, and you think, oh, like what, 15 minutes left to play, Chelsea 3-0 up, they can see this out, they can go through, winning 4-3 on aggregate. No, Modric just pulls the most disgraceful Trivela pass I've ever seen out of his back pocket to Rodrigo in the box, who equalises 5 minutes later. And then obviously Benzema goes and scores in the 96th minute, and you think, wow, these guys are unstoppable. But then they have to go to the Etihad, and we play out an interesting game, to say the least. I think it is safe to say that it was an interesting match, right? But we were leading going into the second leg, and then bam, we score again. We score again with Mahrez, and we're now 2 goals up on aggregate. And it gets to the 90th minute, and you're thinking, okay, City are going to Paris, City are going to the Champions League final, and they'll play Liverpool. No, because Rodrigo bags a brace in 2 minutes. Like, in the 90th minute, he manages, like, in 90 plus minutes, he manages to score a brace to keep their Champions League hopes alive, and then in extra time they win a penalty and Benzema scores. And they've done it 3 games in a row where they've just come from, like, down and out to progress. And then obviously the final wasn't as exciting. They dominated Liverpool, with Courtois pulling out one of the best goalkeeping performances I've ever seen. And then obviously the next season, we knocked them out. They play Chelsea again. They knock Chelsea out, but we get them in the semi-finals again, and we absolutely demolish them. We win 5-1 on aggregate, 4-0 in the second leg, and we obviously go on to win the treble. And then again this year, you know, they beat us on penalties. You know, it was disappointing. We definitely should have put the game to bed a lot earlier, especially as we were dominating for large periods of the second leg. We conceded due to a mistake. You know, I've discussed all of that in a video. If you want to go see my thoughts, I'll link that video down below. But if you want to go check it on the channel, it's called Rodri Changed My Life. Because he did, man, he did. But yeah, and then you get to this Bayern game, right? It's 2-2 after the first leg, right? They've played a tense 2-2 draw out at the Allianz, right? and then Bayern have like the impossible task of going to the Bernabeu and winning the game. But they're 1-0 up. They're 1-0 up, and then Thomas Tuchel brings off Kane for Choupo-Moting. Like, that is the biggest downgrade in substitution. Like, Kane definitely could have saw out the rest of that game. I don't understand why he made that sub. And then he brings off Sane for King Min-jae, who, as a centre-back, put in one of the worst performances I've seen in that first leg, along with Upamecano's, both of Upamecano's performances against City in the quarterfinals the season before. And then Neuer makes a mistake from a Vinicius shot, and Joselu gets a goal in like the 88th minute to tie the game, to make it 3-3 on aggregate, 1-1 on the night. And then in the 91st minute, Joselu scores again. He does exactly what Rodrigo did against City, like, again. And I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, how do you keep doing this? Like, it's like Leverkusen this season, man. Like, Leverkusen just won't lose. You could put Leverkusen 3-0 down in the 90th minute, and I guarantee they wouldn't lose that game and they draw, because they just love a last minute goal as well. And the way it looks, unfortunately, with the coming into the Champions League final, although I'd want Dortmund to win it, because I just think, that would be cool. I do have a bit of a soft spot for Dortmund. I just think Real Madrid are too inevitable in this competition, and they'll get their hands on their 15th Champions League trophy. And I also think that Leverkusen will go on to beat Atalanta in the Europa League final. So it means those two obviously play out in the Super Cup. And I don't think that game will end. I actually do not think that game will end. Because Real Madrid are inevitable in Europe, and Bayer Leverkusen don't want to lose a game full stop. And do you know where they get that from? Because Alonso used to play for Real Madrid, and he's picked up and learned from all their sorcery, man. Because what will happen is Real Madrid will score in the 95th minute, right, to lead the game and win the Super Cup, and then Leverkusen will just go equalise straight off kickoff, because neither team know how to lose in Europe. And then you get onto the Conference League, and I think Olympiacos definitely have a chance, especially with the way they absolutely blew Villa away across both legs. I think they won 5-2 on aggregate. Yeah, they 5. It was something like that. I can't remember the exact score. I'll put it up on screen. But yeah, no, they blew Villa away. I thought Villa were even lucky to get out of the quarterfinals. I thought Lille played a lot better than them over the second leg, and I thought they were lucky to obviously get the goal that took them to extra time and penalties. And obviously, when you're in a penalty shootout against Emi Martinez, he's an intimidating person to come up against. But I don't see Fiorentina losing 2 Conference League finals in a row. Like, that would potentially be one of the most unlucky things you could do, and I don't see them doing that. So that one's a bit of a harder one to call, and I'll be very interested to see how that one plays out. But the other two, I think, unfortunately, are have been won already, because I don't see Leverkusen losing a game, and Real Madrid in the Champions League are just Real Madrid in the Champions League. Like, Dortmund could be 3-0 up, right? And I could see Istanbul, like Liverpool, Istanbul 2005, like part 2 happening. But this time, Ancelotti being in the correct dugout, because, yeah. And the reason they're so inevitable is because they've just always got disgraceful star power. Like Bale, Ronaldo, Benzema, and now it's Vinicius. It's going to be Hendrick next season, Rodrigo, potentially Mbappe next season, Bellingham, Modric, Alonso, Khedira, Kroos, Ozil, Sergio Ramos, Pepe, Rudiger, Militao, Alaba, Courtois, Casillas, Keylor Navas. Like, literally, as of right now in this current Real Madrid squad, I think their only weak point is probably the 9. Like, no disrespect to Joselu, but I think they could definitely obviously get a better 9, and they are going to next season. And probably the 2 fullbacks. I just think Carvajal's not as good as he probably once was, but he's just there for continuity's sake, because he's been there for so long. And I think Mendy, I think Mendy's decent, but I think there's definitely better people and more consistent players out there than Ferland Mendy. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Real Madrid. They're just inevitable, aren't they? So yeah, like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below who you think is going to win the Champions League. I know most of you are going to say Real Madrid. Who's going to win the Europa League, and also who's going to win the Conference League? Obviously like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, if you do subscribe and we get to 1,000 subscribers, there's no time limit on that as well, so when we reach 1,000 subscribers I will shave all my hair off. So you know, that's a goal for you all to work towards. And obviously, yeah, if you're new around here, subscribe and go check out the rest of the videos on the channel. You know, you won't be disappointed. I'm a good laugh, like. But yeah, I've been Nathan. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Shut down cases, they belly dots to the can't see faces, chasing to the bad guy chase it. You don't wanna be the one like Ace and like G takes and tell him I'm wasted. Aye, tell a bad bitch come break it, body come mad, come shake it, shit then get back to the basics, bro, done shut down cases. They belly dots to the